plug her in. Oh my god, I love a curling wand. Hey guys, I'm Millie. I'm from the customer service team here at Adore Beauty, and we're gonna have a little chat about curlers today, where to use them, how to use them, why we use them, and which one I would go for. If you guys have watched my last video with Adore Beauty, you'll know that I'm an ex-hairdresser. I've had multiple years of experience with all types of hair tools, straighteners, curlers, wands, all of the new fads, all of the fashions, and all of the ones that go desperately wrong. I guess I'm here to talk about top 5, some fan favorites, some little tips on how to use it, where you would pick one curler versus the other, a curler versus straightener. Like, I'm never gonna be able to let go of a curling wand. I love my straightener, I love straightener curls, but curling wand is just chef's kiss. I have a couple of Adore's top favorites and a couple of my top favorites, and then a very high price curler. She's kind of bougie, she's expensive, she's a bit fun. We'll start from 5 and work our way up. So it's still a really great tool, and the only reason why I would say that it's a 5 is because it's a little bit smaller. So if you have shorter hair, or you want a really tight curl, or you want that like Hollywood wave curl, then you could go You could go for something like this one from Hot Tools. So this one's really great for that like Hollywood wave, for that really like textured, tight curl. I'll pop all of the links in the bio as well, so if you have any questions, they'll be in order in the bio. It's got a little heat dial on the side. It's part of one of the reasons why I really love Hot Tools, is that it's all super interchangeable for you. So if you prefer like a lower heat, you could go to like a 160, like if your hair's a little bit finer, if it's a little bit more damaged, lower heat's always better. But if you prefer like a higher heat, like say if you've got curlier hair, you've got frizzier hair, and you just need that little bit more heat to really help smooth it over, that's where the heat dial is really great. So I'm gonna pop mine. I like mine kind of on like a 185. I'm quite blonde, so I prefer to have something a little bit less damaging, but I don't need like 200 or 210 degrees. The other thing that I really like about Hot Tools, it has a clamp, but not just that, the entire barrel actually spins. So it kind of does the work for you. I always like to curl away from the face. It opens the face up a little bit more. That there. And you're gonna let it go and just kind of pull it through. If you want that really Hollywood wave, then I'd include the ends in the barrel, but I kind of prefer a little bit more of a textured, and then I just kind of let it out, play with it a little bit. So while it's still hot, if you play with it, it'll drop quicker. But if I wanted to leave it and want to set, and I wanted that more defined curl, then it would come back. My hair was like super short before. I'm kind of growing it out now, so these type of curling ones are the ones that I really love, and I love that it has the tong, especially for shorter hair. That tong's going to be your best friend because it's really hard to kind of maneuver. The really great thing about Hot Tools, not only are they made by professionals in the industry, the price is really accessible. So for this one, you're looking at about $119. It is still a little bit of an investment, but you know, you're not scraping into that like $245. Speaking of $245, my next would be the GHD Killing One. This one I just find with the base, because it's like that smooth ceramic, you get a really soft finish. The barrel's a little bit bigger, as you can tell, and a bigger barrel will mean a softer curl. As with all GHDs, as you just heard, it does a little chime on, and then it gives you another little chime when it's ready. It's another really smooth clip, which I really like. It's not super heavy. You're not gonna find that, you know, once you get halfway through, you're like, oh my God, my arm hurts. I don't wanna do this anymore. Again, I really like to pull it out so the roots aren't, and then we wanna go. So I go away from the face, and you just kind of pull it through. So I have my hand on the tong here. You kind of pull that through, and as you're twisting, you put your finger on the tong, so it brings it kind of through. And pull outwards and go down. And then you can see that's more of, compared to that curl, it's just a more softer kind of wave. So it definitely gives like a softer finish, and you can really get that textured, sexy, beach kind of hair. As with all GHD, they've got that tri-zone technology. So it's incredible at keeping the heat really located, and you're not gonna get like a hot spot on one part of the hair versus the other. So I guess my next favorite one is the Cloud9. It's like a conical, so it's thicker at the base, and then it kind of tapers. These ones are really great for getting that really defined movement. It's also really great for that Hollywood wave as well. You want something more voluminous at the roots and then tighter at the ends. This one's also really great for longer hair because the barrel's a little bit longer. To get that really full conical look, you do need to have longer hair. So for the shorter head people like myself, I kind of start from halfway down, and then you wrap the hair around. You know, if you had like the clip versus obviously the freehand, your freehand is easier to wrap. If you have a heat glove, that's where that can kind of be handy because you can kind of touch it without burning your fingers. And you can kind of see that gives like that tighter curl. So if I were to let that really cool down, and then I would come through with like a bristle brush. See how it's already dropped heaps? So if I were actually to do my entire head, let it cool, and then brush it out, it does take a little bit of patience, but it's really good for events. I actually did that for a wedding. I used one similar to this. I did my entire hair for a wedding and I completely looked like Shirley Temple. I looked ridiculous. Once I brushed it out, it was this gorgeous little wave. I'll send a photo to Maddie and we can pop it in here and you can see what kind of results you can get with a smaller kind of wand. This one is obviously a higher kind of price, so most of Cloud9 are a higher price tool. They are a bit more of an investment, so you'll be looking at about $335 for this one. I really like the styling tools from Cloud9 overall. If you want to go see my thoughts on a couple of their other styling tools, you can go watch the top 10 straighteners on our Adore Beauty channel as well. So we've done hot tools, we've had a look at GHD, we've had a look at Cloud9. You're like, look Millie, that's still kind of out of my budget range. I don't even know if I want to invest in a curling tool. I don't know if I'm even going to use a curling tool. There's a simple option. Silver Bullet are incredible. You get a really great tool and it's almost like half the price. So these ones set at about $89. So it's perfect for that person who just really wants to see if they even like a curling wand. Can they do it? Would they prefer to use it over a straightener? And you know, you're looking for maybe like a 5 or 6 year commitment versus, you know, your 10 to 12 year with the higher cost. That's where the Silver Bullet ones are incredible. They've got a little dial here. We turn her on. No? Cool. Hold that for me. Wow. Oh, there we go. I just have to hold it on. Okay, so they've got a little on button here, so the degrees light up, and then once it sets at 180, you can actually see here, it tells you when it's ready, so it's at 103, 106. The thing that I really like about this one as well, it feels really good. It's not super long, so it's kind of universal. Obviously, the people with super long hair, you can go for the extra length barrels. I'm gonna grab a bigger section because I kind of want to do like a beachier-esque wave, and you can really do that with a larger barrel. So you always do like the clip front ways if you're doing the curl away from the face. So as I twist the hair through, I just lightly press on the clip. So you can kind of see it's a bigger kind of curl. You just get that really like soft wave. When you're doing around the hairline, you always want to do the hair away from the face because it opens up your face instead of bringing that hair forward and really closing you off. But a really fun technique, which I really like. So you can kind of do one curl forward and one curl backwards. Clamp and pull, clamp and pull. And then you can see it just kind of gives you that texture, it gives you that movement. It's just that little bit of difference. You don't have that perfect curl and perfectly set structure. Alrighty, so before we get to the big kahuna, the number one, we're gonna have a little bit of a chat about the Mermade hair waver. So it's just for the people who want that really like casual, that effortless, think Young Donna and Mamma Mia, that real kind of kinky wave. So that's where you would go for the Mermade hair waver. You can get a similar effect with a straightener. So if you do have a straightener and you don't want to double up on tools, there is actually a really simple way to do a bit of a kink and a bit of a wave with a straightener. However, she's so easy to use. Similar to the Silver Bullet, it has a little screen here which will tell you what it's on. I'm gonna boost mine to 180, and while that's heating up, they do have a smaller size as well. And if you don't like the pink, it does come in black. I myself am a fan of the baby pink, but it does come in a smaller size. So if you have shorter hair, this might be a little bit too big, just because obviously you can see the size of it. It can be a little bit finagly to get it through. Longer hair, I would definitely suggest the bigger, the normal size, because I think with the smaller one, unless you want that kind of like 80s crimp, it is a look, it's a vibe. The reason I really like these ones as well is that they're $89. It's the same as a Silver Bullet, like it's kind of a good dive in. So if you can't do it with the straightener, but you don't want to spend, you know, $200 odd, they're really accessible. Just take a little bit longer to heat up. There is 3 barrels, so that's fair enough. So the only other thing I guess you can be careful of, obviously it's a big tool and it's 3 hot barrels and that little metal barrel. So please be careful. Please take your time. You probably want to take a section that's a little bit smaller than the 3 barrels themselves. Open her up. Once the hair's hot, that's it, she's done. And And then you just move it down. So you can see, even for myself, I've kind of got that medium length hair at the moment, and it's only, you know, 1.5 times. So I like to have it with the full metal part down. I just find that you get that kind of wave look, but if you wanted a little bit more volume at the roots, you can also have it this way up. Takes a little bit of getting used to. She's a bit large and in charge. So you can see that just has that little bit more body at the root. It really is that kind of braided. My hair just woke up. So it's actually really great even for like second or third day hair, where you kind of need to style it, but you're gonna wash your hair the next day, so you don't wanna like spend too much time putting in dry shampoo and a perfect curl and all of that kind of deal. You can go with the Mermade waver. So you're gonna have to forgive me because my main first point, and I cannot believe that I didn't say it, kicking myself, heat protection is a must. I've used the Extentioniste from Kérastase. All of the Kérastase heat protectors, the reason why they're my faves is that they give you up to 4 times heat protection. Otherwise, there are some really other great options as well, so hit us up if you need any recommendations for a good heat protection. Now, the big kahuna. You're like, Millie, hurry up. Let's get to it. Okay, all right, I'm hurrying. I'm getting there. The Dyson Airwrap she's an investment. The thing that I really like about it though is that it's really, really versatile. It's got a blow dryer, you've got a smoothing tool, you've got a volumizing tool, you've got like a heat brush, blow waver kind of tool. It has that little swivel as well. And then of course the magic, you've also got a curling tool. If you've ever had a curly blow wave, it's kind of similar to that, but it's letting you achieve that curly blow wave at home. Point 1, it needs to be on damp hair. We are going to take a little section, and if you were going to use this tool, what you would do is blow wave your hair with the dryer, and then once it's, you know, 75%, that's when you go to curlers. So it does come with 4 curlers. One goes to the right, one goes to the left, and it's in a bigger wand and a smaller wand. So if you want that big bouncy wave, you would use the bigger one, tighter curl, smaller. As you click it on, this little lock comes up. It's got a little on off, so that's obviously push the big on button, heat, and you've got cool, and of course you've got the different fan temperatures as well. So to start with, how you're actually going to use it is you're going to let it heat up, so you're going to use it on hot, and then once it's on there, I'm going to do a cool shot. We are going to turn her on, so it will kind of take the hair, so you can see it's taking the hair. You can kind of move it up and down, and then what you want to do, put it on cold, and then you can turn it off. And you can see it's that really like bouncy like blow wave kind of curl. Let's do it again with the bigger kind of one. You don't want to take 2 big sections. That's the thing with this. It's the same as like a blow wave. You know, you only want to take a section as big as your brush. I'll turn it on and then pop the waver behind, and you just kind of let it curl. A little bit like an octopus kind of. And I'm going to turn it off, pull it down. So you can see that's just more of a bouncy kind of curl. I quite like it. It does take a little bit of practice. With the Airwrap, it is definitely an investment. It's about $799. You get a smoothing tool, volume, even more volume, so the more standard brush, your normal Dyson dryer. So your normal Dyson dryer, I think, is $549. So for an extra $200, you get the chance to actually smooth and blow over your hair, curl your hair. If it's in your price bracket, or it's your birthday or a special occasion, or you're just like, you know what, screw it, I'm just gonna treat myself. Why not? Man, she cute though. Anyway, my final thoughts are that my Airwrap.
You wish.
I wish, literally I wish. The Airwrap is on my wish list. Santa Claus, I've been great this year, please. So there is a curling wand for everyone. There are gonna be people who are like, you know what, I can just curl with my straightener, and I'm like, you go babe. If you are ever confused or you need any further help, Adore Beauty is always here. We are always here to help. You can jump on any of our channels or leave a question below. If there is a curling wand that you're like, you forgot this curling wand, let me know. I'll be scroll in the comments. I hope you're all keeping safe, and bye.